Have to.
There we are. Happy Valentine's Day. It's us. It's me, Matt, and Michelle. And this is a chat with Matt. This is our special guest for the evening, the day. I guess it is only 1 o'clock.
It is only 1 o'clock.
So we're going to get to that. But first, I need to introduce my co-host, the real star of the show today, Eugene Emery. What up?
What a fun noise.
Right? Did you like that, Eugene?
Yes, makes me feel like the Asian sensation.
Absolutely. Sorry, everybody. I got a soundboard, and I'm trying to use it. Also, this is going to be a very different episode because, as you can see, we are flush with dogs. And usually, when I do this, Michelle is in the other room, taking care of them. So,
something like that.
Something like that. Or doing her own thing while they, destroy the house. Whatever they want to do. Oh, God, Eugene's gone. Oh, there he is. All right, so this is a chat with Matt, episode 10. Thank you for being here, Michelle.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, Eugene.
Oh, you're welcome. If I cut out, my cameras tell me low battery for some odd reason, even though it's hardwired. I have backup just in case.
All right, so if you come and go, we'll be here for you.
Yeah, see, there it goes again.
Oh, yeah, you're gone.
You're gone.
Well, you're
kind of
frozen now.
You're still here in spirit. I feel
That's
it.
okay.
Oh, poor Eugene. He tried to do something good. He tried to upgrade his stuff.
I try to look pretty for you guys.
Yeah. This is what happens. This is why we can't have nice things.
Because
Here, you know what? just because I like you guys, you can see what I'm doing. And there you go.
Uh-oh. What is he doing?
I don't know.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh.
I mean,
Reason why he's...
Yes.
Well, we'll go ahead and get started with the interview while you figure your stuff out, Eugene. How's that?
Well, no, I can still ask. It's just you don't see my pretty face.
I don't know if we're allowed to show
That's a good point.
videos like that. Are we allowed to stream games?
Yeah, as long as we're saying, we're reviewing it or something. We can call it.
We're not.
Review and review. Mario.
I did ask him if he was winning earlier.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what. Mario 3D World, pretty good.
Good. Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay, well, go ahead and take that down. We're going to get started on our interview. Michelle.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Good.
I had too much coffee this morning.
Did you?
I did a little bit.
You didn't
That's
have
all
that
right.
much.
I know. I only had 2 cups.
Yeah, not even 2 full
That's
cups.
That's the whole interview. How much coffee did I have this morning?
Yeah, definitely. Here, scoot over this way a little
My
bit.
feet are sweaty.
Palm sweaty?
Palm spaghetti.
Palm spaghetti? All right. So we're going to start like we do. Michelle has no idea how this goes because she's never actually watched one of these episodes. So that's, how she loves and supports me.
I don't need to watch it to support you. That's all I'm saying.
So you were born.
I was born once.
One day. It was January 2nd, 1973, right?
Roundabout.
Around there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit later.
Depends on your definition of later.
Okay. So we're actually looking at like March 19th.
Yeah.
1986.
Six.
Okay. Before Star Wars. The Phantom Menace.
What happened in 1986 besides my birth?
Huh?
What happened in 1986 besides my birth?
Uh,
Did Chernobyl happen in 1986?
I don't know. When was the Challenger?
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Probably should have done a little bit of research.
Born in Conneaut, right? What do you think we
Oh, and you froze.
talk about? We talk about world history? Like,
Well, I don't look like an asshole.
that's fine. Oh, I trust me. You're probably gonna look like an asshole by the end of this.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. So it's an everyday affair.
Oh, yeah. So, you were born in Conneaut.
I was born in Conneaut.
Brown
Brown
Memorial.
Memorial.
Oh, wow. There we go.
That's
So,
a name drop.
what were your parents doing when you were born?
In life? Or like in the exact moment.
No, in life. What were their jobs?
My mom was a dispatcher at the police department.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a conductor on the railroad.
Okay. Still married at this point?
They were still married.
Okay.
They were married for all of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
My sister was probably in kindergarten.
Okay. So you are the oldest of three.
I am.
So how old were you when your brother was born?
I was 2 when Kevin was born.
Okay. So you don't really have a memory of life before him?
No.
No. What about Katie?
I don't really remember when Katie was born. I was 5.
Yeah. That's still a little...
But I do remember changing her diapers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the floor of my great-grandma's house.
Okay. Well, then let's go there. So you were born, your parents were married, but what was life like up until your parents split up? Like, I know you have had a close relationship with your grandparents on both sides?
I did not know my dad's parents.
Okay.
They were dead. My dad's dad was alive when I was born, but died soon after.
Okay.
So I didn't know them. I forgot what I was saying.
Grandparents.
Grandparents.
Yeah.
How was life while my parents were still married?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was by the time I really realized life was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they were already on their
split
way
up.
out. Yeah.
So who'd you stay with? Who did you guys stay with?
My dad.
Your dad.
Yeah.
Okay. And your dad was working on the railroad.
Yeah.
So coming and going all hours.
Oh, my dad was never home.
Never home.
Yeah. So we started off at babysitters.
Mm-hmm.
We had a babysitter, Mrs. Cooper, forever. We stayed at our house. My great-grandparents would drive us to school. Sometimes they would come to our house, but when they got, when they started getting older, we moved in with my grandma for a while out in the country. My first experience riding a bus was awful, incredibly overcrowded, relevant to Eugene.
Yeah.
Buses suck.
When Michelle was 4, they moved into my old house.
That's very true.
What was that?
My dad's house was Eugene's old house.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your dad bought it off Eugene's parents? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
It's probably the same exact stuff in that house.
Except for the porch. There's a porch now or something.
There is a porch.
And a shed in the back.
There's most of a porch.
Okay. So what was childhood like for you? Just growing up in general, like school, elementary, middle school.
It was fine. I liked school.
Did you?
I was good at school. I was kind of a nerd.
Mm-hmm. You still are.
I'm still kind of a nerd.
Yeah.
I do have a 98% in my class.
Yeah.
I'm currently in.
Oh, just so you guys know, I just want to put this out there. The minute I feel like a relationship fight coming on or some controversy, I have this cookie cake concoction my mom made. So if I just be quiet and I start doing one of these where I'm just like,
oh, I can't talk. My mouth is full.
Well, no, I'm just gonna be like, I'm enjoying this. Like,
yes, it's like a popcorn situation. I wish I had some popcorn.
Well, Eugene, make sure you check the chat.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Just to make sure.
Do you get a lot of interaction on the chat?
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Occasionally. All depends who's watching. All right, you had a good childhood.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I also want to add, I didn't come into this as, huh?
There's one watching, it says.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hi,
one watcher.
Nothing went wrong.
Yeah, this one I wanted to wing it a little bit with Michelle because I wanted to see how much I could remember about her. I don't feel like I'm doing too great.
you're doing fine.
Okay, all right.
The 1972-73 thing.
Yeah, well, that was a joke. See, what was supposed to happen is that you were supposed to say, no, I was born on here, and then I was going to say, well, I apologize, my research team has failed me, and then I was going to give Eugene shit. See, it was going to be a funny little thing.
Well, had we prepared a little.
Yeah, well, see, I'm afraid if we would have prepared that too much, then it would have come off as phony.
Natural.
No, yeah. So, it's okay.
I have some bad news, Matt. It says
What?
here that they got the little YouTube search bar and the monkey guy showing saying something went wrong.
Oh.
For the chat portion of things, is your chat enabled?
Oh, I don't know. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. As long as the video's showing, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Message us on Facebook.
So then, what about high school? Well, no, let's stay when you were a little bit younger. Did you guys do a lot of stuff? I know your dad was away, but I'm sure he tried to, do things with you when he had free time.
Yeah, we went to, sorry, he's eating something he shouldn't.
Yeah, always. It's just what he does.
Yeah, we went to a lot of amusement parks. Dad liked to take us to amusement parks. Ew, gross.
Gross.
Spent some time in Buffalo with his sisters.
Because that's where his family is
Yeah.
originally from.
Started taking to hockey games. Those were fun.
Yeah, when did you guys start getting into hockey?
We were probably in middle school when we first started going. We went to Erie, to the Otters.
That's cool. Oh, yeah, I remember going to... No, not the Otters. I remember going to a Cleveland Lumberjacks game. Remember that?
I never went to the Lumberjacks.
No?
Those
Erie's
are the best games
closer.
to watch.
What was that?
Those are the best games to watch.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, because I can tell you my first memory of going to watch the Lumberjacks, 4 seconds into the first period, blood on the ice.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
I do remember the one game we went to, some little girl got hit with a puck in the crowd.
God.
Yeah, she's probably dead. It was tragic.
Not related to the hockey puck. She's probably
probably
dead for other reasons.
No, I was talking about the hockey puck. She's certainly
She's probably
died from
fine.
the hockey puck.
She's probably fine.
Okay, so happy childhood, sad childhood.
It was okay.
Okay,
We weren't, Dad was never home.
yeah. Mom wasn't around.
Mom wasn't really around.
Yeah,
Coming home to a lot of blank checks for pizza.
yeah. Mhm.
Kind of sucked. But, by the time I was old enough to be home, and I was a complete asshole to my brother and sister.
As you should be.
Maybe a little too much.
Yeah.
But, I was the only one.
Yeah.
I was the only one there.
Okay.
So,
All right.
it
So
was okay.
okay. So then we get into high school.
High school.
Same thing with you.
Yeah.
Still liking school. Still being a good student.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of friends?
Not really.
No.
No.
Kind of a loner.
I had a few friends. I think I didn't realize how kind of shitty life was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of an asshole. What's he have?
I don't
Something
know.
else.
Something. See, this is going to be terrible.
It's gonna be fine. Anything good?
Got him. Look, Yuji, we're not fighting.
I was waiting for you to lead into it. I was just like,
Okay. Still have a good relationship with your family,
Yeah.
your brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Oh, was that a joke?
No.
No, I was still an asshole. Well, I was
Well-
only really by the time I was in high school, I was only really an asshole to my sister.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Did you do anything as bad as what you did to Kevin with the PlayStation?
No, I threw my brother's PlayStation down the stairs of my grandma's house because he wouldn't let me watch TV.
rude.
Yeah.
It was rude.
Eugene,
It
did
was
you do
shitty.
anything? Did you do anything terrible to your sisters when you guys were growing up?
Yes, things we will never speak about. Between using golf clubs, golf balls, and
Jesus.
I don't have that.
Wow.
I did slam my sister against a wall once.
Yeah. I think anybody who was an older sibling was probably kind of an asshole to their
Yeah.
younger sister. I know I was mean to my sister quite a bit growing up.
Okay. Makes you
Jeez,
feel
all the
better.
younger kids stealing all the thunder. Jeez.
Okay. So,
My life sucked. I feel like I'm just talking about like bad shit.
well, no, it's fine. Let's just talk. We don't have to talk about. Tell me something. Tell me some good memories you had growing up. Then.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have any specific.
Okay.
Like individual moments that were good. It's kind of like in there.
Nothing
It was
sticks
fine,
out that
no.
you're like, oh man, I remember this awesome time we got to do this, or we went and saw somebody, you know.
I really liked going. We used to go every winter to Niagara Falls. I really liked doing that. Yeah, they have like a lights on the falls
They
thing.
do.
It was pretty cool.
That was kind of the place that we would go for like little mini vacations.
Yeah, we went
it would be like
all the time.
Hey, it's the weekend. Let's go get a hotel for 2 nights, and you know, and we would go all times a year. And I remember going in the wintertime. It was very cool.
It is, yeah.
Being there in the
I don't know that
wintertime.
they do it anymore, which is a real bummer.
No, they don't.
I don't know.
I'm sure they do.
They used to have this is not there anymore. They used to have like this big glass building, and when you walked in, I think it was a mall.
Mm-hmm.
But when you walked in the front, it was like trees, like tropical. There was like a waterfall. And we used to hang out in there all the time.
Okay.
It was, I don't know, it was really cool. I don't think that doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what
what was that, Eugene?
Building.
Like an arboretum?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're talking.
Thank you for putting a word, a name.
Yeah. Well, that's fun. So let's talk about some of the stuff that I know that you've loved, like ever since you were a kid, like horror movies.
Yes.
Yes. See,
probably in an unhealthy way as a child. I probably should not have been watching it.
I feel like people in our generation, though, were exposed to stuff like that a little bit younger than they are now. And I guess you could say, is that healthy or not? But I don't know. Other than having a strong love of horror now, what did it really?
I am afraid of the dark as an adult, as a 35-year-old adult.
But...
I don't know. I'm not. I think it contributes to the fact that I don't care about movies because like I'm not surprised by anything. I've seen so much like shock in movies. Like I'm not surprised anymore.
What was your favorite horror movie?
Nightmare on Elm Street has
original.
always been my favorite. That and like just the series.
Yeah. How old do you think you were when you first saw that?
Or like 8.
8.
Yeah. Probably too goddamn young.
Too young.
Too young.
What was the movie that you said you used to watch every day before you went to school?
I used to watch A New Nightmare. I used to get up at like 6 a.m. and watch A New Nightmare before school. So it was obviously like later school. So it had to be like.
Well, that came out like 95.
How old was I in 95? I was
maybe
9.
94. So yeah.
So maybe it was. I even got up earlier than that to watch A New Nightmare. No problems.
Yeah.
I was convinced that Pennywise slept under our bed.
Yeah.
We had bunk beds with me and my brother. He slept on the bottom bunk. And I was certain that Pennywise, like I used to like look over and I'd see, obviously I didn't see him, but I would like see him.
How did he react to this?
Kevin had no idea.
Like that you thought this or that you were afraid of stuff like this?
He knew of neither. He had I didn't like mention it.
Okay.
I guess.
Why? Because you didn't want to scare him? You don't want to think you're an idiot?
Or maybe I did. I don't know. A little bit of both. I don't remember. But I do remember that specifically. And I remember, like, the stairs to the basement were open in the back. So obviously,
something's going to grab you and pull you down. And,
yeah.
Yeah. And then you'll sprain your ankle. And then that'll be it.
It's over. Right. That's how you go. The basement was scary. The basement's scary for everybody.
Now, wasn't your grandma's house real scary? The one that was out in the middle of nowhere?
So both my grandparents' houses were scary. So my grandma's basement was pretty scary. I don't know why. Like, the house, my grandpa built that house, so, like, it's not, like, it's old. It's obvious. It's not haunted. Probably. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But probably not. Mm-hmm. I think it was mostly scary just because it was out in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of land covered by trees, surrounded by trees. Mm-hmm. We used to have to stand out and wait for the bus in the fucking pitch dark.
Yeah.
Me and Kevin. And it was not fun.
Not fun.
Not fun.
Wasn't meant to be.
No, I'm sure. My great grandma's house, I think, is haunted.
Yeah.
My mom used to say she would hear.
And this is the one that was down the street from your dad's?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She said she had someone like grab her arm once.
Really?
I don't know. After my grandpa died in that house, I thought maybe. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe we should get a hold of the people who live there now and ask them if they ever.
I don't think anyone's living there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The guy that bought it actually talks to my dad all the time.
Yeah.
Like anytime he finds something in the house, he'll give it to my dad.
Oh, okay.
I think my dad's been in the house since he's worked on it. Okay. So I would like to. So I'd like to see it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Okay. So after high school, you graduate.
I did.
You graduated.
I was like 0.1 GPA from graduating with honors. I was so disappointed. I got a D in one of my classes, like for a semester.
Really?
Yeah, it was really disappointing.
Wow.
It was. I'm ashamed.
I wish I would have known this before we got married.
I know, it's really.
She's got a shame. She got too much.
Just unbelievable.
I know.
I'm
a disappointment.
Married to someone with honors.
I graduated college with honors.
Okay. Well, then let's get into that. Let's get into college. What'd you do after high school?
Well, I dropped out of college the first time.
That's what we're getting to. We're going through the timeline, chronological. You get out of high school. Do you go right into college? When did you start working?
Not until I got into college.
Oh, okay. So you weren't in high school.
I was not.
Okay. So you get out of high school, you get a job?
Not until I went to college. I got a job in Youngstown.
So you went to college in Youngstown?
I did. I went to
Youngstown the following semester?
Yes, I went in the fall.
What'd you do over that summer?
Nothing.
Nothing. Good.
A whole lot of nothing.
Good.
I didn't want to go to Youngstown, but no, I had like no guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one in my family had gone to college before. I had no idea. Someone just fucking left me to figure it out. So I wanted to go to OU. Mm-hmm. Like I've always wanted to go to OU, and I did visit, but like you have to audition. I was a music major, so I had to audition, and like getting an audition tape there, no one like pushed me. So last minute, I get an audition at the Dana School of Music, and I get in. So now I'm going to Youngstown. This is where I went.
Mm-hmm.
Moved there, got a job at Arby's because it was like in the same building that I lived in, which was nice.
Oh, that's convenient.
But I didn't have any money. My dad made too much money working on the railroad, but he didn't actually have any money, so I couldn't get any help.
Because he was not great with money.
Because he has no money. Yeah, he has no money. He's told me before in terms of like having kids and raising kids, he's told me, like, don't have kids. He's like, I love you guys, but don't. I had a hard time raising you guys. I made a lot of mistakes. I totally understand. I totally get it.
Maybe, but you're all fine.
You were fine. No, I didn't mean it like...
Yeah.
He screwed up, but, like, it's not easy. And I think he knows, like...
You're not equipped for it?
Maybe. He probably knows that I'm not equipped for children.
He knows every time you call him and say, yeah, we just put some siding on the house. He's like, oh, thank God they don't have kids. Hey, you want to hook me up with another one of those delicious drinks?
Yeah.
Just, I got to warn you, too, with the two of us here. Huh?
These are high ABV, aren't they?
Yeah. 6.2? We're probably going to get fucking drunk doing this, so...
I'm drinking slow.
Okay. I'll drink this one slow, but it's from Homestead. It's called The Tempest. It's a pretty good beer. Pretty good. So we got that going. We have to talk about what we're drinking every time we do this, so...
Okay. Well, I'm drinking a cider.
What kind of cider and from where?
It's from Cider Guys. It's from Cincinnati. It's called Swizzle.
Eugene, what are you drinking over there?
I have me Mountain Dew Zero Sugar.
Oh, interesting. How does that taste compared to like diet and regular?
It's not the same.
I don't mind Diet Mountain Dew.
I don't care for Diet Mountain Dew. Is it better or worse than Diet Mountain Dew?
It's better than Diet Mountain Dew, but you know what's messed up? This one actually says 0 calories in it, whereas the Diet Mountain Dew has 5.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the secret is
Dew connoisseur.
Mountain Dew doesn't taste like Mountain Dew unless you got to put the sugar in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need to feel those hours and days coming off of your life
He's eating my slipper.
every time you drink a Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? Like, you need to know the risk. All right, so go ahead, Eugene.
That was the first time I saw like a Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. I was like, I'll try it, I guess.
Try it out. Okay.
Would you drink it again? Would you recommend?
I'll stick with water next time.
Yeah.
I'm just doing
so sorry.
For a flavor to have.
So you go to college.
Go to
You're
college.
going for music.
Going for music.
How does that go? Get down.
It was not what I mean. I loved my performance professor.
Mm-hmm.
They made me do marching band. I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to do marching band.
Well, did you do marching band in school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like marching
Completely
band.
glossed over that.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like my whole thing.
Your whole life.
It
your whole
was
existence.
it's all I did.
Okay. And what did you play?
I played trumpet.
Trumpet. Okay.
So I was going to college for trumpet music performance.
Okay.
I really liked it. I didn't like my other classes. Mostly because it seemed like if you're a music major, they don't expect you to be smart in any other aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, you take your placement test. I placed into calculus. They're like, well, you don't need calculus. You can take this placeholder math that will, it'll get you the credit. That's all you need.
What does it matter?
If I want to take calculus, right. But my advisor actually told me, like, no, you're going to take this. Because you don't need to take calculus. I did eventually. I had to...
And you didn't know better then.
No, I had no idea.
You didn't know you could tell the advisor, I'm going to take calculus.
But, I mean, I did eventually. So my first semester, I took this stupid placeholder math.
Since you're supposed to take calculus, do you retain any of the calculus skills? The things you've learned in calculus?
I know some. I did eventually take calculus. I had to minor in math for them to say, oh, you can take calculus. But when I went back to scrub school, I placed again in their highest math, and I had to take math. Okay. And that's just where they put me. So yeah. I know some math. Okay. I can do math.
She's a mather.
I'm a mather.
As long as I have fingers and toes, I'm good. But you want to throw like letters in there, I'm out.
I liked math. I liked chemistry.
Letters, symbols, we're good.
I'm not good at math whatsoever. I hate it. And I'm really surprised because I feel like it's something that I feel like I would enjoy the problem solving aspects.
And that's what it is. I like the process. I like the step by step.
Yeah, and I don't
figure it out. I can write a paper. I hate it. I don't want to write a paper. I don't want to talk about history. I would rather do some goddamn chemistry for some reason.
That's more exciting.
To me, it is. It is more exciting.
Yeah. I used to always laugh when we'd be in school and they'd have high school teachers, science teachers, who just loved what they were doing. Yeah. They were excited.
Dude, Mr. Smith loved what he was doing.
Yeah, they were excited about what they were talking about. And half the time you're just like, man, what a fucking dork. And now you're older and it's just
I did not feel that way. I was like, no, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I ran out of money. So, and
couldn't get loans or didn't want to take them?
So I had enough. I had just the normal amount of federal loans, which is what, $5,200 a year.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going through right now.
Right. So I couldn't afford to live there. Mm-hmm. So, and I had a boyfriend back home and I was going home every weekend. I didn't stay in Youngstown. I came back to Con Ed every weekend to be with my boyfriend at the time. And so I was like, I'm going to go home and I'll commute, which is just a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm. Especially living in Pontiac with the winters that we have.
I fell asleep at least once driving. Ended up off the road.
Yeah.
I skipped a lot of classes. Eventually dropped out.
Yeah. So how long did you go all together?
I made it through a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
before I dropped out.
Okay. And then what'd you do?
Got a job at McDonald's.
The one in Pontiac?
No, I actually started working at the one in Edgewood, in Ashtabula.
Oh, okay.
That's where I started.
Is that the one that's like right by the highway?
Yeah.
Okay. Or Route 11, whatever.
Yeah. I worked there for a long time.
I don't mean to interrupt you for real quick here. I got someone knocking on my door.
All right, that's
tell
fine.
them we said hi.
Go ahead and just mute your thing and leave your video on though in case they like run in and murder you, and that way it's at least we can all see and we know.
Smart.
Okay. Don't tell them it's on though. So okay, and then you worked there, and then what? Where'd you live?
I lived in my great grandparents' house
With your mom, or just?
So my great grandma had died.
Okay.
My great grandpa was living alone. I moved in with him.
And where is this at? The house on
Buffalo Street.
Okay.
It was just me for a while. There. Eventually, my mom did move in. And then my grandma died. Tragic. Just like the worst thing that happened.
Car accident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awful. Because I had been with her like the day before.
Yeah.
I was still in college at this point. I was still going to Youngstown. Barely.
Yeah.
Going to school yet. She dies in a car accident. And then my great grandpa gets cancer.
Mm.
So I had like all my remaining grandparents die within like a few years of each other.
Yeah.
And my great grandpa like had stomach cancer he only lived by the time he was diagnosed to when he actually died at home, like in front of my mom and me.
Yeah.
It was like 6 months.
Wow.
And he was hospice was coming. It was not a good cancer.
Yeah.
It was not a good death. That sucked. It really hurt my mom. Like she had a hard time with it. She blamed herself. I was like, Mom.
Yeah. What do you do?
Did you it was cancer. There's nothing you can do. But she and I lived there a while after that. We had any money. My mom lost her job.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at McDonald's. I was an idiot.
Yeah. Were you?
So,
were you partying a lot at this point?
I don't know when I started. It was like right after I dropped out of college.
So how old are you at this point? Like after you drop out of college, start working at McDonald's?
19, 20.
19, 20. Okay.
And that's when I started. Yeah, I started going out.
Yeah.
Too much. I was calling out of work all the time. I was being a real asshole.
Yeah.
Like I was not in a good place, and it was probably a combination of like I felt like an asshole because I had to drop out of college. Everyone's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living kind of in a shithole. It sucked.
Yeah. You didn't have, and it was. I don't want to talk too personal about stuff, but it's like, did you have water and electricity and stuff?
So,
I know there are periods where.
I think we always had water. We did not have electricity for a while. Maybe we didn't have water because we didn't have heat.
Yeah.
I know that, but I can't remember if it was because we didn't have water or because we didn't have electricity. I couldn't.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I mean, there were water radiators, so I imagine it was water.
Yeah. But this was like, so this is when you're living on Buffalo. Your dad's right down the street.
Yeah,
so you're able to go down to his house and have
a shower.
Heat if you need it and get a shower and stuff like that.
We must have had well, because we had space heaters. I remember space heaters.
Okay, well then, yeah, you must have had electricity. Maybe you didn't have gas.
Maybe we didn't have gas. We didn't have. It was not a good. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was not good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're working at McDonald's, living with your mom at your great grandma's house.
Yeah.
Things are not great.
Not great. Drinking a lot.
But you prosper at McDonald's, don't you?
I eventually, So I eventually became a manager.
Mm-hmm.
Started actually going to work.
Okay. So why'd they make you a manager if you were so shitty?
I don't know. Because I think when I went to work, I was a good worker.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, maybe they took pity on me.
Okay. And what's going on with your personal life at this time? I know you said you had a boyfriend that you were seeing when you were in college, and that kind of distracted.
We broke up, like, right after I dropped out of college.
Okay.
Perfect timing. Very appropriate for the life falling down around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I started dating someone else.
Yeah.
Which was whatever. It was fine for a while.
Is this the person that it eventually takes a dark turn, or was
Yes.
there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right after.
So you're working McDonald's, working there. You have this new boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's, you think, a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Like
he's
fun. Cool. Everybody who knows him loves him until they realize who he is. We're not going to say names.
We're not going to say names, but I was like, I know this guy.
Yeah, you do.
Everyone knows this guy.
Yeah. So when do you move in with him?
I didn't ever officially live with him.
Oh, okay.
He got an apartment. I was there all the time.
Yeah.
But I still technically lived
was that
between my
by
parents' house down on Harbor Street.
The the tanning salon next to it. Okay.
Yeah.
That tanning salon, it used to be a laundromat when I was little.
Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my grandparents going there.
Yeah. And then this is all happening. You're just working, partying,
drinking a lot,
and
smoking some weed. That's like the extent of my drug use ever.
You didn't really get into anything.
No.
Did the other people that you hung out with get into shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of my very good friends. I met her when I worked at McDonald's in Ashtabula. I remember going, not often, but we had gone to a couple parties and everyone's snorting coke. And
yeah.
I've been offered, but I'm like, I'm not. I can't even handle my booze and weed.
Yeah.
I probably should not be doing anything else.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time in Bruce's bathroom.
I think we all
puking.
Have.
I mean, we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well.
Have you ever puked in Bruce's bathroom?
I don't think I ever puked in Bruce's bathroom. I managed to make it outside.
I remember being at...
You haven't truly experienced Bruce's.
I don't know if that's better.
Oh, trust me. I have experienced Bruce's most ways that you can. I just had enough respect for him to not throw up in the bathroom. I'd be at the end of the bar.
Well, I made it to the toilet. I know. Mostly, I mean, and the thing is, a lot of the time I spent in the bathroom was not actually puking. It was mostly feeling like I was going to. That's how I handle my too drunk. I just sit in the bathroom because I know eventually I'm gonna puke.
Yeah.
I don't I've fallen asleep in lots of bathrooms. Just because I'd rather be there. That's where I feel comfortable. If I lay down, I get even more sick. I just hang out in bathrooms.
All right. See, you would have loved Eugene's house back when he had the toilet right next to the bed.
Yes. That is what we need. We need to put a toilet. Well, it doesn't happen anymore. But at the time, it happened more than I care to admit.
I feel like we should explain just real quick about Eugene, if he doesn't mind. The reason why the toilet was next to the bed is because the house was owned by an older person who needed to have it there.
Smart.
It's not like Eugene was just yeah, I'm going to put a toilet right next to the bed because...
Not that I would judge.
No, not that I would care, but...
Brilliant.
Let me give you the better revision of that. So this person had a child that was in a wheelchair. And it needed handicap accessibility for bathroom reasons. And so there was a bed in the room with a hoist to get out of bed, so they can just.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then the toilet was right there, and then right next to the toilet was the shower.
Yep.
Yeah. So is that stuff still there?
Yeah, I just replaced the toilet.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Amazing.
See, Eugene's got a nice guest suite. That's a great guest suite that you could have.
It is a guest room now. I don't see it there anymore.
That's what I plan on using when I come and stay up, so I can see your.
I've had guests use it twice now.
Your addition. Well, make sure you clean the sheets and everything before I come over.
Well, I treat it like a bed and breakfast, you know.
Yeah, there better be a mint on the
I
pillow.
was hoping you were going to say hostel.
No,
you may live. You may get out of here alive.
That's the basement accommodations.
Yeah, Eugene's creepy ass. Speaking of creepy ass places out in the middle of nowhere, I was actually thinking.
I don't know. I didn't ever think your house was like any part of your house was creepy.
I think it was just being out there. All right, listen, we'll talk about this on Tuesday. We got to get back to you. This is about you.
This is about me.
About you. So when did things start to go downhill with
the boyfriend?
The guy.
Well, I might have cheated on him.
Okay.
That's what did it.
Okay.
I admitted to him that it happened.
With the previous boyfriend?
With the previous boyfriend. Everyone hates him. Everyone hates him. It's my fault that everyone hates him.
Who hates who?
Everybody hates David.
Oh, you don't have to say names, but...
Well, that's a very common name.
Yeah.
Even in my own life, it's a very...
we know.
There's a lot of Daves that we know.
That's why... Preview for next month, we're having the March of Daves. We're interviewing nothing but people named Dave.
I know one.
Maybe we should get him on.
I bet he would do it.
So you used to fuck my wife, huh?
And he's going to say, used to.
Yeah.
He's married now, he has kids.
Yeah, I don't think that matters. But
I mean, I know it doesn't matter, generally speaking, but...
Okay, so you had yourself
that was a mistake.
You had a fling.
Yeah.
Told him about it.
I told him about it.
So had he displayed any of these tendencies before then?
No.
Oh.
Not at all.
Okay.
So it probably didn't help. I don't know.
That's not an excuse at all for everything that happened.
Because it was a while after that.
Okay.
But yeah, it did not help.
Yeah.
It did not help things.
So, I mean, that's kind of your life was pretty steady up until the incident, I guess.
It depends on your definition of steady. Because, I mean, it was steady in that it was the same.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And I was going to work. And I was
drinking
and doing drugs.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to say like. I think we're at the point where we don't have to say we were doing drugs when we're talking about weed because it's like legal most of the places, and it's like getting closer.
I wasn't doing it.
It's decriminalized. That's
yes. But we don't have to call it doing drugs.
So I was smoking weed and drinking a lot, and it wasn't steady in a good way.
Yeah,
like I wasn't getting anywhere.
I just meant nothing was changing. Yeah. Except for your relationship.
Yeah.
Which eventually led to...
an attempted murder. Had I not taken a plea, I think it probably would have been an attempted murder, is all I'm saying. Yeah.
So, we don't have to talk about that in particular if you don't want to. But, yeah, you had a altercation one night. And it ended with him being arrested, going to prison for a little bit.
Yes.
I feel like I assume that's a big life-changing moment for you?
Yeah. I actually started drinking more.
Well, yeah.
For a while. I did, though, eventually, I moved out into the same apartment. Mostly because it was a really nice apartment.
It was. Really I remember going there and visiting you guys. And
it was cheap. It was $500 a month inclusive.
Yeah.
So, like, I could afford it.
Yeah.
So I did move out, kept drinking, got real skinny.
Yeah.
Like, I
mean, refuted all of my advances.
I did.
Always.
I did. Well, you were really mean to me. You don't think you were, but you were mean to me.
I don't think I was meaner to you than I was anybody else.
Well, you're mean to everybody then.
I had equal amount of hate for everybody. That's all I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about Michelle and myself. I had a big old crush on her.
Is it because I was drunk?
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I think I liked your attitude and your just liked what you had going
presence.
on. Yeah, just your personality and who you were. And she never had the
chemistry.
time of day for me.
I'd rather get beat up. Really like knives.
Huh?
Really like knives.
Yeah. Oh,
much
babe.
better situation.
Yeah, totally. Here, let's see what
Appropriate.
Yeah. So yeah, we hung out like once in a while. We'd see each other in circles.
Ooh.
Because
you definitely have felt me up at Eugene's house.
I did feel you up at
That
Eugene's
happened.
house one night. We were sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, I remember that.
You stopped me.
I did.
It's okay. I listened.
Stop that,
You
sir.
Well, maybe not so much the first time, but the second time, I was like,
it
okay,
took
she
some
means
persistence,
it. Yeah.
but eventually you figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm smart.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're living in the apartment, still
Mm-hmm.
working at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? What's the next big thing in your life that
fuck.
changes?
I met my first husband
Met your first husband. Where'd you meet him?
at the bottom line.
The bottom line. And see, we're going to get into
Yes.
what the difference is between me and her first husband. And that, I think, is a lot of, which we met at.
Which bar we met?
But even if it's not meeting, where we rekindled, where we got back together, and I'm going to show you, I wore this for a reason. This is the difference, is because this is where we found our love. Eugene's not even looking.
You know, I'm going through my packages that just showed up.
I know you are, you rude asshole. Michelle's bearing her life story.
I'm letting her tell her
Are
story.
you not entertained?
Oh, I'm very entertained. You should be entertained by what's in these boxes when I get
I
done.
do want to know.
All right, we'll hear all about it.
You keep doing your thing. We'll get to it.
What an asshole.
Well, no. So I ordered. I saw like these weird, like, this company called Dragon or whatever, Dragon Glassware, and they have these shot glasses that they you set them down. They
Sit like
at an
that,
angle
yeah.
like that, because it's got the, you
That's-
can't set it down like that. So they had glassware like that. So I found Scotch glasses that would match that, and then they had these coffee mugs that are double lined. So I don't
Very
know.
cool.
There's more stuff in there. I'm just giving you examples of what I got so far.
Okay.
Well,
So
yeah.
your last boyfriend beats the shit out of you and almost murders you.
That did happen.
Yeah, no, that happens. Just,
A great mutual friend of ours.
yeah. And well, the thing is, I also really don't care for the first husband as well.
Okay, well, we'll get into that. I do want to say, though, I want to bring this back to the boyfriend. Just, we'll only talk this for a little bit, but I feel like you had a lot of personal issues with people afterwards. And I guess I'm sort of saying this to like anybody else who might have experienced the same thing, because this guy you were with, he was very charismatic. He was very friendly. People really loved him. They still do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
I think they're kind of falling off.
Probably because
because unfortunately I hear about it.
Yeah.
You know.
And he's refusing to do anything about it. But
he's sick.
But how did that affect you living in Conneaut? Because I feel like this has to eventually meld into you making the decision to leave. I feel like it probably helped.
A lot of people were on my side.
Okay.
I was going out a lot, and more than once he would show up at the bar and be told that he had to leave.
Okay.
Because I was there. I remember specifically, like, one time I was at the bottom line.
Like the bartender's telling him he had to leave?
She wasn't a bartender. I can't remember her name. Feel like kind of an asshole because she's there all the time. But I was at the bottom line, and he walked in, and she went up, she's like, you gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
And I see this happening, and I was just like, I actually went up to her and was like, no, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And she like took me in the bathroom and yelled at me. She was
Really?
like, "Do not defend him.
Yeah.
If I'm saying he has to go, he has to go."
Yeah.
And she was right. Like I was just, it was
a hot mess.
I was a hot mess.
Did you ever feel like, and it's not, but like, did you feel guilty about it? Like, oh, what did I do to?
I did not feel guilty.
No. Okay.
But I did feel bad because I knew he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and this is a very typical response from women who are in these situations where they're like, "Well, what can I do to help?
Mm-hmm.
How do I help this?
How do I fix this guy?
How do I fix this guy?" But this time, this wasn't the first time, but this was the worst time,
mm-hmm.
and I had never pressed charges before, and now it was out of my hands.
Yeah,
because I had let the state take it, so now he's getting charged. He's going to jail one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I did eventually take a plea deal for like aggravated assault.
Mm-hmm.
I don't honestly know what. I mean, it was just a bad situation. I was still trying to talk to him while he's trying to like fight this criminal case.
Yeah.
And everything I'm doing is just not helping.
Yeah.
So he went to prison for 9 months.
Okay.
Is eventually what he got. And I remember because I went to the sentencing and the judge said to him, "You're lucky. You're lucky she took this plea."
Mm-hmm.
Because he would have gone away for a lot longer.
How do you feel about that?
In retrospect, I regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish he would have gone. Because he didn't learn anything.
No.
He still, well, not anymore, finally, but he has contacted me. And his...
Yes, he has.
He's never sorry. He's always like, well, my life is bad now, too.
Mm.
If you think, the consequence for you is bad, mine is also bad.
Mm.
You think he's trying to shift blame or something, or?
Yeah, so he's like, he always tells me, well, I was high.
Yeah.
And I think the drugs we smoked were laced. And I was like, first of all, we didn't even do any drugs. But he was doing drugs that I didn't even know about. So he may have been on something.
Yeah.
Well, probably was. He probably was.
Mm.
Because
that's not an excuse, though.
No, it's not an excuse. It is an explanation. Because that's when he would get violent. Is when he was really drunk. And I knew, like, the night that it happened, I knew it was going to happen. Yeah. Because I was trying to leave. Because I could tell. I knew when he was getting that way.
Mm-hmm.
But he just got to me first.
Yeah.
I didn't make it to the door.
Do you think there's any, like, road to redemption for him or people like him?
He's got to get help.
Yeah.
I mean, he still to this day refuses.
Yeah.
He doesn't take responsibility for anything. Everything is someone else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I hate to say, once a person does something like that, that's just who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem that way.
Yeah.
Like, these people that do things like that don't get help that they need. They could. They could, generally speaking, people like that. They can
okay.
do whatever, but they don't.
Okay. That's all we'll say about him. I just wanted to get some last comments in about that. So let's jump up to your next disappointment.
In a long line. Oh.
Fuck you!
We haven't talked about you yet.
All right.
You're the end of the line.
So you meet this guy. Yeah, the last in line. And that's how it happened. Yeah, Eugene, eat that fucking cookie, because... So you meet this guy at the bottom line.
Bottom line.
Classiest joint in all of Conneaut.
Very much. I am shocked that I met him at bottom line.
I am too. Just from what I've heard about him through you, he seems a little prissy.
Yes.
Like, to not be seen there. Like, he seems more like someone you would have ran into at, like, Rainbow.
Yes. I'm gonna just put this out there, not just because it's my character take on him, and I know this is supposed to be positive, but I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Your first husband, he's a bitch.
He is. He is.
Eugene's got some strong feelings going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew him, Eugene. Honestly, I've never met him.
Yeah, I didn't hang out with him by any means, but
he's older than us. He's 8 years older.
He's older than you, Eugene, isn't he?
Yeah, he used to date.
His brother's our age.
He used to date a friend of mine's sister, and I was like, dude's a bitch.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I forgot. I went to school with his brother.
Yeah. I'm still friends with his brother on Facebook, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so you meet him.
Meet him.
How long does it take for that relationship to get serious?
I think it was an appropriate relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, well, tell me about it.
We didn't. Well, I don't know. It was appropriate at the beginning. I was still fucked up. I kind of forced him into getting engaged.
Okay.
I was real pushy. So we were engaged like at a year.
Okay.
Too soon. And there were plenty of red flags. Like, I knew this was not a good idea. I don't know why I was so pushy.
Because you're young and dumb.
Because I was young and dumb. I was 25 when we got married.
I was around the same age when I got married, and I knew this is not, and I didn't have the history you had. I just knew it was not a good idea, but I went through it anyways. Well, I think my whole thing was because I think I was kind of rebelling against people because so many people were like expressing their doubts. And I'm just like,
no, it's going to be.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Who are you to tell me that this isn't right? And
I remember I was at a friend's house. There were quite a few people there. And I invited him. Mm-hmm. We were still pretty new. I don't think we were living together yet. But we were all really drunk, and a friend of mine, a male friend of mine who I worked with, were just like fucking around. We were slapping each other. And my boyfriend, ex-husband, pushed me against the wall to get me to stop. And that should have been the moment where I was like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't abusive in any way. Mm-hmm. He is not a bad person. He's not, like, I wouldn't be friends with him, probably, now. But that was not a good showing for him, and it should have been enough for me to be like, nah, this isn't gonna work. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What did your friends say to that?
Oh, they were pissed. Yeah. They were so mad, because it was so soon after the incident that they were like, you gotta go. You gotta get out of this house. But for some reason, I persisted. We stayed together, moved in together, eventually moved to Athens together.
Okay.
So in 2011.
Well, before we get there, can you hand me a 5 points?
Yes.
And I think so far, that first story reiterates reinforces my statement about how I feel about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in retro. I mean, I understand why he did that. He thought it was getting violent. He thought, whatever, we were out of control. But like, why the girl? You know what I mean? Like, why your girlfriend?
Yeah. Well, maybe as Gigi puts it, because he's a bitch and he didn't want to.
Because the guy that I was hanging out with
would have kicked the shit out of him.
Kind of a tough guy. Yeah, he was kind of a tough. I mean, I actually went to. He and I were friends. We went to concerts together. Like, it was not something that was going to escalate beyond.
Yeah.
And I knew that, but apparently.
I've had that happen to me at the bar where I've had a female friend that I was like roughhousing with, and like these drunk dudes being like, he shouldn't be fucking doing that, man. He should be like hit. And I'm like, and we're all just like, dude, we're playing around.
Yeah, we're friends. We know.
And they just get a little too.
Wow.
Okay, so you guys decide, hey, let's move to Athens. What takes you to Athens?
So my brother lives in Athens. Okay. I always wanted to go to OU, and that was my thing. I was like, I'm going to go to OU. I'm going to go back to school. This is going to be great. Mm-hmm.
So you feel like, and we should add before you move away, you're working at McDonald's.
I'm working at McDonald's.
You're making good money.
I'm making not bad money. I'm making like $13 an hour.
You're a manager there, and this is in 2010,
2011.
2010. You're making $13 an hour.
Yeah. It might have been more than that. No, it was probably around $13.
Which,
not bad.
Yeah, right. Me now thinking about it, living in Conneaut, $13 an hour, being a manager at McDonald's. That's not the worst thing that you could be doing
for Conneaut, for where I was. I busted I worked hard.
Yeah.
You know. And I liked my job.
What was that?
It was good money for your age at the time.
Yeah. It was all right.
Yeah. And you feel like you earned it.
Oh yeah.
You went to school, or you didn't go to school. You went to work though. You moved your way up. You earned that position.
I worked hard, and I was good at my job,
mm-hmm.
and I was a good manager.
Yeah.
And had I stayed, they probably would have promoted me to like an assistant or a GM.
Yeah, you'd probably be the GM by now.
I might, yeah.
I'd be the DM.
Probably not.
No, you don't think so?
They only have 2 like district managers because
it's a guy
that owns it, and he owns like from Menor to Conneaut.
Which I've brought this up on the show. You've told me that he was actually very good to work for. He was great to work for. Yeah, it really took care of his stores. He really did. He was very good to his workers. Like, we got raises every year. I had benefits there. I know, and I know that's not how it is at other places because I've worked other places. Yeah. And I was a manager in Athens making 50 cents over minimum wage, no benefits, no not call time, but like no PTO. Yeah. Like, and these people owned 5 stores and just treated people like shit. How bizarre is it that you can be so different, like in the same state, but just like between north and south, it's a completely different. And I guess maybe it's different because Athens is a poorer county than Ashtabula County, but that's a bad reason because those people are making the same amount. Those owners are making the same amount of money. Yeah, and Ashtabula County is not that. But it went into. Yeah, I'm sure. Where's Menor? Lake County? Is it still in? Menor's not in Lake County. No, Menor's Lake. Ashtabula County. Lake County. Lake County. Yeah. So it's shitty. It's shitty that there are owners out there, and that's. Yeah, that's life. Just the way it is. It's a bummer. Some people are shitty and some people aren't. But that's why you could also say, there's a big difference between one person can say, my time working in a fast food restaurant was the worst time of my life. Yeah. And then another person could say, hey, it really wasn't that bad. That's how... The work was the same. The work was... I didn't mind the work, but there is definitely... And it's so shitty because Athens is so poor. Yeah. There were people that had been there for 10, 15, 20 years... Yeah. Making the same as me. Yeah. And like, no fucking wonder these people are poor. Yeah.
Matt, what was just so we can give an example of the things. You were an assistant manager at Pizza Hut, right?
Pizza Hut, yeah.
And what was your base rate?
I made minimum wage. And then when I became an assistant manager, I made $1 more than minimum wage. So not good.
And that was just 5 years ago. 6 years ago.
6 years ago, yeah.
This was 10 years ago for me.
Well,
making $13 an hour.
Yeah, 10 years ago, $13 an hour. That's So that's one of the things that we always found so weird because, like, Brian and I used to work at Pizza Hut together. That's how I met him. He was the general manager there. Yeah. We'll talk about Pizza Hut now. We liked it.
I loved working at Pizza Hut.
It wasn't the problem. It was that corporate aspect because they were so out of touch. They had no idea what like Conneaut was like. No delivery in Conneaut, Ohio, which if you happen to be watching this and you don't know anything about Conneaut, it's covered in ice like 60% of the year. That's an exaggeration. But it really is one of it. Huh?
I don't know how much of an exaggeration it is.
It's not that much of an exaggeration. It is, but the point is, no one wants to go out. The roads are pure ice. The town can't afford to actually de-ice the roads. So it's just one of those things that they showed us so much how they didn't care. They didn't know what was going on, and they just ignored everything that we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's a big difference. I am curious about like other people who worked at like because there's not a lot of fast food places in Conneaut either. There's Burger King and Dairy Queen.
My brother worked at Burger King.
Your brother worked. A lot of my friends worked at Burger King too.
I can't remember. I feel like he didn't make a ton of money, but he worked there like when he was in high school.
Yeah.
He didn't work in Conneaut for very long before he went to college.
Yeah. So it's a different world. It all depends who's taking care of it, who has that franchise.
But if you work at McDonald's in Conneaut or at any of those stores that he owns, you have it really good.
Yeah. What's his name?
Alan. I can't remember his last name. His first name was Alan.
Okay. Yeah, I just from what you've told me about him, he sounds like a really good guy.
We had a Christmas party.
If you can have a McDonald's,
we had a Christmas party every year. If you worked there more than 5 years, he took you out, gave you dinner, gave you drinks, gave you Christmas gifts. Like, he was a respectable business owner. Yeah,
maybe I'll try to get somebody on here who works there right now. Give us some insight into how it is now.
I feel like the people that we know that work there now have been there for a very long time.
Yes.
And have worked there the majority of their work life. Mm-hmm. And I hope that they know. I hope that they know that he is good to you.
Yeah.
Because
sometimes it takes you being taken out of that.
Right. When I went to Athens, I went from making $13 an hour to making $7 whatever, in a much more expensive town.
Yeah.
Because Athens, I really, really loved Athens from Conneaut. You know what I mean? Athens is not a good place to live at all. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely run by the students and the college, and those people's money.
Yeah. And the students
money,
don't give a fuck.
Student loan money, parents' money. Students don't give a shit.
Yep.
Your rent. I mean, we moved. My ex-husband and I moved in with my brother and his wife at the time into a 2-bedroom, very small apartment, and our rent was over $1,000.
Wow.
And my brother's working at Burger King. I'm working at McDonald's, not making good money.
Yeah.
My ex-husband worked before.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I can't. I'm distracted.
Okay. That's off.
But he was working. He worked at a home for MRDD back home. He did the same thing when we moved. And my brother's ex-wife was kind of like the moneymaker. I felt like she was like a GM at a store.
Okay.
It's not a good place. Everything's expensive.
Well, okay. So Athens sucks.
Athens sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, there are good things. I like going to visit Athens. There are some very quaint and cute things about Athens.
Yeah.
But in real life, living there, it's not a good place.
Yeah. Okay. So how long did you live in Athens?
We lived there for a little over a year. I think I don't know, maybe if our lease was a year and a half.
Working at the McDonald's.
Working at McDonald's. I actually only worked at McDonald's when I first moved down there for about 4 months. And then I got a job at Pizza Hut.
Okay.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
Pay wasn't much better, but it was a little better.
Yeah.
I liked the work more. Worked there for a year.
Okay.
Went back to McDonald's. I got fired.
You got fired from Pizza Hut.
I got fired from Pizza Hut. For telling one of my cooks that there weren't any cheese sticks in the goddamn oven. That is literally what I said. The next day, I was told I was suspended, and I was fired 2 days later.
And I need to add, I probably talked about this on the show before. When I worked at Pizza Hut, I remember one day in particular, this is the Pizza Hut in Conneaut, where Brian said, "Matt, are you mad at so-and-so, one of our coworkers?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." And he's like, "Okay, because he said yesterday you told him to go fuck himself." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just might have said that." And then,
fired.
And then one of the coworkers that was there who overheard all this was just like, "Yeah, you told me to go fuck myself too." And I was like, "Oh, well,
everyone should just go fuck themselves."
So I'm just saying, I was telling people to go fuck themselves left and right. I got promoted to assistant manager.
In my defense, there were no cheese sticks in the goddamn oven, and we were waiting on them.
So what I'm
the guy, I'm sorry.
So what I'm learning is Matt telling people to go fuck themselves is his way of saying salutations.
Yes, yeah. That's just how you. Maybe because I didn't tell people that every day.
Yeah.
I was a fucking good manager there, too.
I know.
I'm a good worker.
I know, man. You are. Anybody who would fire you is a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Michelle, you're fired.
I cried. I cried on them when they called me and told me. I cried. And then I called my district manager, and I was like, I just don't feel like it's a fireable. And she's like, well, unfortunately, we do think that. And I was just like, a fucking mess. It was just like the worst thing that had ever happened to me.
Michelle,
he also got fired
because it's embarrassing.
It was terrible, and I really didn't think it was like. I didn't think I did anything wrong.
Yeah,
but whatever. I really like that job too.
Well, that's all right. You're better off now. And that's Eugene. What were you gonna say?
You're fired.
So, you're fired. You go back to McDonald's.
Go back to McDonald's.
When do you start going back to school?
So I couldn't go to OU.
Okay. Why?
Because I couldn't afford it.
Couldn't afford it.
And because...
How could you not afford it?
OU's expensive.
I don't know. I'm just surprised, like, how do I afford to go?
I don't know.
I'm driving myself into debt.
Which, it's... So, the thing was, I couldn't transfer my credits from Youngstown because I owed Youngstown money.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So I didn't do anything.
Okay.
So I just lived and worked there.
Okay.
I made some very good friends in Athens.
Yes, you did. I feel like you probably talked to more people
that
you met in Athens than you ever did in Conneaut. That's
100%.
That's kind of the bummer that when we go to Conneaut is that half the time I feel like it's entirely for me. And me to see,
My dad's there.
And your dad.
Yeah.
But it's like, I always have these like, well, I want to go see, these different friends. You never have that. And I always feel bad. But I'm also kind of happy about it.
I mean, I feel like I could. Like, there are people that when I left I was friends with.
Yeah.
But I felt like a lot of, I don't know, they had their own shit going on, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe I wasn't that exciting as a friend. Because even when I left Conneaut, like, I saw maybe 2 people before I left.
Yeah.
There are some people that I care about that live there, but
yeah.
I don't
and as you get older too, it just gets harder and harder to stay in touch with people. But okay, so you go to college.
So eventually, yeah. So I moved to, once our lease was up, we can't afford to live there. My brother gets his own place. My ex-husband and I moved to Nelsonville. Because I'm going to go to Hawking. And what I did was I just started over. Yeah. I didn't transfer any credits. I just started from scratch.
Okay.
I go to scrub school, learn how to be a surgical tech.
Okay. And while this is happening is when your marriage just starts to kind of...
I mean, it was never, like, great.
Super great. Yeah. So whose idea was it to move to Athens in the first place?
It was mine.
Yours. And he was okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Why? I mean, I guess Conneaut's just not a great place.
Maybe, yeah. I'd be a little... If you were just like, hey, let's move down here and with my brother, I would just kind of be like, eh. So...
Well, I mean, he was living with his parents when I met him. At 30, whatever.
Okay.
30 maybe, when I met him.
To be fair, when we reconnected, I was living with my mom.
Yes, you were. So I guess maybe he just didn't want to move back in with his parents.
Okay. So he just...
I don't know.
So he had moved in with you in
was,
Conneaut. He moved in with you. And then you guys decided to move to Athens. Yeah. Went down there. You both had jobs.
And his parents had money.
Okay. His parents had money, so they helped you out when you needed
it. Well, when we wanted to go to school, they were like, well, we'll pay for you guys to go to school.
Okay.
But I got grants. Mm-hmm. I didn't need money to go to school. And his parents were very generous, but his parents were also very overbearing. And I think probably because, their son has 2 college degrees and is doing nothing with his life and is going to school for his 3rd degree now. And so it was a lot. Yeah. So eventually I was like, listen, I appreciate your generosity, but I'm not going to use your money. I'll take loans. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of responsibility and that.
Feel like you owe them.
Yes.
Or feel like they think you owe them.
Yes. So I just took loans.
Yeah.
I went to school for 3 years, got my associates.
Okay. This is at
Hocking
Hills or Hocking
College.
Yeah.
I told him it was over. I hadn't graduated yet. It was like the October before I graduated. No, it was sooner than that.
We had actually kind of started talking before, because I remember seeing you at Bruce's and saying, so did you leave that fucking husband of yours yet?
And I hadn't.
Because I was going through a divorce at the time. Yeah. I might have been living with Alan at that point.
Oh, maybe.
Because
I'm thinking about like Bruce's, you were living with your mom.
Yeah, like I lived with Alan for quite a while, and then I moved in with my mom after I was afraid that my friendship with Alan was going to be destroyed from us living together.
And I was still living with John. Through we didn't get divorced. We didn't have anything to get divorced over.
An annulment.
We got you can only get annulled a certain amount of time. So we had a dissolution.
Oh, a dissolution. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
So we lived together even beyond that, just because we had a lease, and it's expensive to live in Southeast Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't afford to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Until when you moved down and we got our place here in Lancaster.
Yeah. So we had, met up, had that little talk. We kind of talked a little bit, but I think there was a little period there where we were just kind of off and on. And then I think we just started talking again one day.
Yeah.
We both just kind of realized things just kind of lined up perfectly for us, is what it turned into. And I remember asking you just like, what did he do that you want to get a divorce? Because
he didn't shut the shower curtain.
I don't shut the shower curtain.
No, I get pissed off every time.
But that's the thing.
But I'm not going to leave you for it. That was, I do say that. That is,
yes.
But that's obviously not.
Yeah, and it was, I always thought it was strange because you were not like a person. You were genuinely just like, I'm not happy with this person. He hasn't cheated on me. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. But I always
generally speaking, he wasn't a bad person, but
yeah, just not for you.
Yeah.
And so we started hanging out, and you would come up and you would visit me, but you were still technically married. You were living together, but you weren't a couple.
Right.
So we're good. We didn't do anything wrong.
No. I think we filed for a dissolution in November, maybe. And it wasn't final until...
Yeah. But I remember there was a period when you were still like, I was trying to get fresh with you, and you were just like, no. I can't do it. And I'm like, all right, okay, I understand. And I think that was you just kind of like, still married, I'm still with him. But then I think there was that period when it finally just like, you're like, I'm going to divorce this guy. And then it became more like, I'm going to let Matt hit it.
That is exactly word for word how it went in my head too.
Yep. Yeah. I think we embarrassed Eugene.
Well, to interrupt, because I was finding a good time to jump in, we have some comments.
Okay.
Brian Reif, he's says that I'm really off thus far with plenty of dots.
I was hoping he's going to say, how many people did Jason kill?
How many people did Jason kill?
Friday the 13th.
And then I'm also 4.5 minutes behind. The suspense is killing me.
Okay.
Then I replied, there's plenty of suspense. And then Mulcher, happy Singles Awareness Day. And I say, yes, it's good to be aware. He goes, leave him for it. I was like, I should just solo stream.
Oh, jeez. Eugene, I just want you to know I'm happy you're here with us.
Oh, no, it's not a problem. That, like I said,
It's not a problem.
Sunday's our time. And I don't
That's
want to interrupt this marriage.
Yeah. Right now, Michelle is the guest. So we'll keep it. Michelle's the guest here, okay? Don't feel like you're intruding. Because this is...
Oh,
this is your day. You guys.
Yeah. So... You eventually leave. You convince me to move down with you.
I do.
You're just like, come on, just do it. Drop everything.
I cannot afford to live here by myself.
Leave your family, leave your friends. They don't care about you. They don't love you. Yeah. Only I can
Whatever
love you
I have to say to get you down here to help me pay the rent. Those are the things she said to me. She's like, they don't love you like I love you. And so she convinced you to move. We had a very nice apartment. I found a very nice apartment for us.
It was April 1st. I moved down of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
We moved in together, started our life.
This is the 10th year I've lived away from Conneaut.
Yeah, you said that. That's
10 years. A whole decade.
Yeah.
Almost like to the day.
Yeah. It's impressive. So then what? Now we're living together. Tell me what's going on in your head.
Got a washer and dryer. We made it.
Got dogs, washer and dryer.
Dogs. Someone just fell.
Someone fell.
I heard a door. I'm guessing they also heard the door.
So yeah, we're living together.
I'm working at a hospital.
I'm working at a hospital.
I'm okay at my job.
You're great at your job.
Well, I was new. Yeah. I was just out of school. The job kind of takes some time.
Yeah.
Scrubbing's, it's easy if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it takes some time to get to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. But you're smart. You can do whatever you want.
I can do it, yeah.
And then we end up getting married.
We did. We got married.
2000.
I'm not going to say it. Yeah.
2018.
We had a more respectable amount of time between starting to date and our engagement than my first husband.
I'm going to test you guys. What's the date?
Oh, 5/13.
God, I don't know. 5/13/18. They had up.
Okay.
That's not why. That's not why we chose it.
Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day. That's also not why we chose it. We chose it because eventually it's going to be a Friday.
Well, the only reason why I remember is because my family decided to go down to the Outer Banks.
I remember.
No.
And I stayed for work, and I was like, thanks, guys. The week of my birthday, I'm going to start off. The plan was start off with your guys' wedding, then drive down to South Carolina. And that my mom's like, oh, no, you better not.
Better not.
Because she took off vacation time, and I was like, you know what? I got sick time. I'll go see the doctor. He'll be like, oh, yeah, homeboy's back's messed up. He needs to be with his family. And my mom's like, oh, no, don't do. I was like, you know what? Let's see how this is. I'm just going to the wedding.
So now you got a family. You're married. Eventually get a house.
We did get a house.
We got 4 dogs right now.
Dogs.
We've only lost one since we've been together. Oh God.
We could talk about Mingus.
That was a devastating time for us. But, you know, that's what happens when you have pets, when you have dogs or any kind of animal. You know, eventually
they die.
The day comes.
Pierce is never going to die. Geppetto's never going to die.
He is. They're all going to die. But, you know, that's just the way it is. And now, you know, what's next? You're going to school right now?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to school for?
To be a first assistant.
The first assistant
Surgical
in surgery.
First assistant. I guess at the end, I'm a first assistant. It's weird to say because I am still in school, but like, I'm not going to drop out of school. It's only a year.
Yeah.
What does the second one do?
The second assistant, they pass instruments.
So what's
the first assistant sews and holds retractors and helps with, you know, visualization.
Well, let me guess. Let me ask this. This is probably better. How many numbers do we go down?
Just 2.
Oh.
Well, I don't. You don't call a scrub a second assistant. You just call him a scrub.
Yeah.
That's
so just a first assistant.
That feel. Listen here, scrub.
I know.
Yeah.
I like it. I like being a scrub.
Well,
every day.
I guess we're going to skip the regular questions. Eugene, you want to go ahead and give the wheel a spin?
Oh, fuck.
16.
16?
Yeah, a 1 and a 6.
Could you walk on Legos barefoot for 1 year if it gave you the ability to fly?
Like every minute of every day for a year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. That's
Eventually, it's not bad. Eventually, you form calluses, and it's not bad. You just get used to it. It's like my life.
Yeah.
My life is like walking on Legos perpetually.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came.
Thanks.
I'm glad you came into this.
I feel a lot better now at the end, so we could keep going.
Oh, no. We're going
to an hour and a half. At the beginning.
Where we aim for an hour and a half. We are there now. And I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we quit? Anything about you that we need to know?
Do you have any shameless plugs to plug?
I have no plugs.
No plugs.
No, I do have plugs.
You could check out her husband's shows on YouTube.
Support my husband, so I don't have to.
We got some comments, not to interrupt your plug here.
All right.
Brian Reif, without ruining anything for me, how in depth do they go on for the first time they have sex? I go, not far, I interrupted.
We were not going to.
And then...
No, we're not going to...
Yeah, it seemed like it was about to get hot. Thanks a lot, Eugene.
Brian, I'm sorry. Message me later, and I will go over the details of the first time him and her got it on. Woo-wee!
Not a comment, just come in. Night 44030. Hope it just ends with them making love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something like that.
And then Paba, my phone died. I'm 11 behind.
Well, they can catch up on their own because I think we're gonna say goodbye for now.
Everybody say goodbye.
Yeah. Say goodbye, boys.
Geppetto, Hudson, Pearson, Brody.
They're all right here.
Hi, tea.
This is our family.
Mistake.
So
I feel left out. Yeah. Say oh, that's just stuff.
Please stop.
I'm sorry.
Eugene and his material goods.
Yep, it fills in my empty void.
Come and watch us on Tuesday for the stream with no name. We got a nice show set up for you. We're really putting some effort into it. We're actually planning things out for it. So give us a second chance on that one. It hurts.
Putting in effort, it hurts.
Yeah, yeah. I give Brian and Eugene homework now, and they don't like it. Also, we're going to have a guest on Tuesday. We're going to have Mr. Michael Melcher with us.
Yeah, I spoke to him last night.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time. But all right, everybody, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. Thanks again, Michelle. Thank you, Eugene, for being here. And we will